This radio program is PG-13. Parents strongly caution some material may be inappropriate for children under the age of 13.
The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix. Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thanks for tuning into the program. Today's Bible study, The Rise of Evil Men. Today on Hardcore. Hey, when you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on, I'm going to do some announcements so you make that call. Thanks for your help. Say, this is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're in Central Phoenix on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's a red brick building. Please remember our website, HardcoreChristianity.com. Please remember to send us a donation on PayPal off the website, as you have for the last 20 years, believe it or not. Thank you for supporting us. I've been in the counseling and psychology field for over 40 years. I can't believe that. I only do Christian counseling now at the Arizona Deliverance Center. By the way, at the center we have a free counseling center. If you're a born-again Christian, you can come in for counseling and prayer at no charge. Please remember my Sunday morning podcast comes on at 9 o'clock Arizona time. Just go to twitch.tv and put in HCCADC, and you're there every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. We have 2 live Zoom services every week. The women only on Monday nights at 6:30. Wednesday nights for everybody, 6 o'clock. We have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday nights at 7 o'clock Arizona time. We also have a healing and deliverance service after both of those services. All of our services are on our YouTube teaching channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. You can call the Counseling Center, 602-636-5800 if you need to come in for counseling and prayer. No problemo. Thank you for your support. The rise of evil men. Check this out. 2 Timothy chapter 3 says, yes, all that will live godly in Christ, all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. But evil men, Greek word paneros, which means perverted men and seducers, Greek word goes, which means which was used to describe somebody like a witch, a warlock, or a wizard. They shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Planao is the Greek word for deceive there. It means to get astray, go astray, roam astray, stray off the path. What this is really saying is that people are going to get so evil, it's as if a witch or a wizard put a spell on them, and they're committing evil that is so bad as we near the rapture and the tribulation that it's as if people are under a spell. That's what that verse means. Goes. Wizard spell. Let me give you a couple of examples of how these wizard spells, so to speak, that come from the kingdom of darkness. Let me give you an illustration of how it works. Check out the Curtis Bay Medical Waste Services. This is a Baltimore-based company that's in 10 states around Maryland, okay? Just an East Coast company. What they do is collect aborted baby parts from Planned Parenthood, and then they burn them in special waste-to-energy incinerators. Okay, now that process costs Planned Parenthood money. It costs Curtis Bay Medical Waste Services money to use a special waste-to-energy incinerator. But the law requires you to do it. You have to do it. What were they doing? Take a guess. Circumventing the law, throwing the fetal remains out with the normal garbage. There we go. They got hit with 40 charges. They were fined $1.7 million, criminal penalty. They pled guilty to over 40 charges. Can you imagine that? dumping baby parts in landfills, improper disposal and treatment of medical waste, including fetal remains. This is how sick people are. Evil men shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Roe v. Wade came into law in 1973. 60 million babies in the United States were aborted after 1973. As you know, it was recently overturned. Guess what happened? Abortions went down. We are now down to approximately 2,000 abortions a day in the United States. That's down from what it was. That's not including Plan B pills, chemical abortions from the pills. That's not included in them. 2,000 formal abortions still occur in the United States every day. Evil men shall wax worse and worse. Recently, at the Socialism 2023 conference in Chicago, of course it was in Chicago, that is a massively demon-possessed city, an associate professor from Johns Hopkins University got up to speak at this conference. His name is Jules Gill Peterson. He's a male, but he identifies as a female. In this speech he gave the Socialism 2023 conference, he was encouraging sex workers and allowing children into the sex industry and liberating children by abolishing the age of consent for them to have intercourse. So if a 12-year-old girl or boy wants sex, he wants it legalized so that the person, the adult, 30, 40, 50-year-old person, what have you, having sex with a 12 or 13-year-old boy or girl, it is not a crime. He thinks prosecuting them for a crime is wrong. Evil men will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Do you know what the Dove Awards are? Yeah, they're kind of like the Grammys. They're a Christian Grammy type system. They give awards for Christian music every year. TBN is the one that sponsors it. All right. Many people now who get awards on the Dove Awards are advocating trans and homosexual lifestyles. At the last Dove Award, a guy named Derek Webb, who used to be in a Christian band called Caedmon's Call, he backslid and renounced his faith. He crashed the last Dove Awards. He crashed it, dressed as a woman, fully supporting homosexuality and sodomy. Two other guys came with him to the Dove Awards. They crashed it too with him. They were all three wearing women's clothing. They came out as drags. As I'm speaking to you, the war is going on in Israel, another one. And there'll be more, folks. Yeah, there'll be more. Check this out. Hamas invades Jerusalem, what was it, 2 weeks ago? 1,500 people, 1,500 members of Hamas charged in, killed 1,400 Jews, injured several thousand more, and took over 200 hostages. Hamas was tying families up together, mom, dad, brother, sister, tying them up, and then burning them to death. Burning them to death. Hello? Evil men will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. They would snatch babies from these families and then decapitate them. They would cut the heads off of the infants in front of the parents. In front of the parents. They even allowed it to be filmed. You know, everybody's a movie producer now. They've got cell phones. You got a camera on your cell phone. We see stuff in our society that, a few decades ago, there wasn't any possible way in the world we'd ever see. Evil men and seducers, they will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. They will generate evil and more evil as if they were under a spell. And this is what Satan's doing to the United States. Pot addiction and gambling now skyrocketing through the country. Mental illness, homelessness, and drug addiction skyrocketing through the United States. The United States is going down, friend, and you need to spiritually, emotionally, and mentally prepare for it. This country's going under. Nothing can stop it now. Nothing can stop it. The churches in America failed the United States, did not preach the hardcore gospel. They gave up on the gospel. They watered it down. They turned it into the Dove Awards. And as a result, Satan has run amok. He's running through our society like nothing anybody's ever seen. And it's all being accomplished through demons. If you know someone who's being oppressed by demons, they're eligible for free counseling and deliverance services. 602-636-5800. If your children are infected with spirits, they are also eligible for free counseling and deliverance services at the Arizona Deliverance Center. 15th Avenue in Osborne. Thursday and Friday nights services, Monday and Wednesday night Zoom services, free private counseling services. Friend, you're out of excuses. You don't have an excuse anymore. If you're sick and you're staying sick, you're out of excuses. It's 100% your fault. The opportunity is here. Your chance is here. God's mercy is here. The love of God is here. And you don't have to go down with this country. This country's going down. Nothing's going to stop it now. It can't be stopped. Are you going to go down with it? Or are you going to fall under the spell? Goez, the seducer's spell. And start living in sin again. And start taking drugs. Start fornicating and committing adultery. Start drinking and living in sin. Are you going to do that, or are you going to come for help? 602-636-5800 is your lifeline. Call today. I'll get you on the counseling schedule. We will get you in here for prayer and deliverance. And you need to do it sooner rather than later. The longer you wait, the more powerful Satan's demons get, and the further down the hole goes the United States.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.